Hello everyone, hope you're doing good. Welcome to our channel Pi Wizard. Today we'll continue with the flow control statements and cover while loop, for loop, range function, and a few other concepts. This is the sixth video in the series of 500 videos which we are compiling to give you a intermediary level of proficiency in Python. Let's get started. The code in a while clause will be executed as long as the while statement's condition is true. Um, a while loop has a while keyword, a condition. Okay, here for example, it is check less than equal to 9 is a condition. A colon and an indented block of code that starts right after the while statement. One of the important things that two of the important things that you need to note about the while condition is that the code in the while clause gets executed as long as the while statement's condition is true. For example, here if you see, we have put check is equal to 0 and while check less than 9, it will print let's do it, and then we are again making an update to check, that is check is equal to check plus 3. Okay. Other concept that you need to understand is that at the end of the while clause, the program execution jumps back to the start of the while statement. Hence, it is called a while loop. Why it is called a loop? It is because after the while loop ends, or after the condition, or once the condition has been executed, once the condition has been met and executed. Let's say it checked that check is equal to 0 and check is less than 9, so it printed the first let's do it. Then it went down, it saw that check is equal to check plus 3. It again went up and started from the while statement itself to check if the condition is still true. So for the next two iterations, obviously the condition is true and hence it is able to print let's do it 3 times. Okay. In while loop, condition is always checked at the start of each iteration. The clause is skipped only when the first time the condition is false. The clause or the while clause gets skipped only when this would become greater than 9, that is when it gets skipped and the program ends. Now we move on to the concept of break statement. What is a break statement? A break statement basically helps us it helps us exit a while loop. The syntax for a break statement is simply contains the break keyword, okay, the way it has been used here. So let's look into this example. So it says while true. Okay, while true, print please type your name. Name is equal to input. Okay. If name is equal to your name, then break print thank you. Now essentially uh, this is a without the if statement and the break clause, this is actually an infinite loop because whatever input you give, it says while true. While true as in the loop, the while clause would always evaluate to true, and hence what we have done is that basically we have added a if clause which says that if we type your name, then the function would break, that is the while clause would break, and it would print thank you and end it. Okay, let's see how it happens. First, I typed the name Ram. When I typed the name Ram, it came here. It saw the input. Since the if clause is not executed, it does not go to the. Since the if condition is not executed, it does not go to the to its clause. It goes back to the loop and asks the name again. So it will keep on asking the name unless and until we type your name. Okay, this is how the entire concept of while loops and break statement work in conjunction with each other. Now, similar to break statements, there is a concept of continue statements. Now, continue statements are they just have the opposite impact of what break statements have inside loops. When the program execution basically reaches a continue statement, it goes back to the beginning of the loop. Okay. Let's look at this program. Here it says while true not equal to false, and hence it is an infinite loop in itself because true is always not equal to false. It says that score is equal to int of input. We need to give an input for score. And if score less than equal to 32, which is the if condition, then it says continue and it says print congratulations, you have to move to the next class. Now we need to understand one thing is that Here, the if statement would get skipped only when the score is greater than 32, and if the if statement has a value that is less than 32, then the while loop would again continue. For example, let's say first we gave a score of 38. Okay, now 38 means that the if condition has been is not met, and hence the continue statement got skipped. So it started printing, congratulations, you have moved to the next class. But when we gave an input of 31, it does not give us any output, and it will again ask for an input. Okay, so it becomes an infinite loop if you do not give a value higher than 32. Similarly here, if you see, it's the same thing, it's just the extended version. We have used the concept of if and elif that we had read in the previous PPT. Here, if you see, it's the same program. Score is while true not equal to false. Score is equal to int of input. If score less than equal to 32, which is the condition. If condition continue, print congratulations, you move to the next class. Now, if score is less than 32, then this while it will again go back to the beginning of the loop as we have stated here, right? But if score is greater than 32, then it will start executing the rest of the program. That is, let's say we have given 89. So 89, it says that congratulations, you move to the next class because the value is greater than 32. Then it says score is equal to int of input. Okay. Again, we gave the input that the score is 89. Okay. It says if score less than 90, then you have just missed the bus for football team. Else if score greater than equal to 90, then print you can play the football team as well. Now, as you know, there are two things here. One is elif statement can always be used only after the if statement, and typically the elif statement gets executed when the if statement is false. Now here, the if statement is true, and hence it prints that you just missed the bus for the football team. Let's say we would have given an input of 91, then it would have executed the elif statement and given us that congratulations, you can play for the football team as well. Now we move to the concept of for loops and range functions. For loops can be used to execute the block of code only a certain number of times. For the for loop, the syntax is as follows. We need the for keyword, a variable name, the in keyword, okay, range function, a call to the range function, a colon, and starting on the next line an indented block of code. Here, for example, it says for I in range 6, print my name is Sankit. Here it basically considers I to have the value of 0. Okay, we'll get into the details in the next slide itself. And hence it prints the name of hence it prints my name is Sankit 6 times. We can use the break and the continue statement inside for loop as well. In fact, continue and break statements can be used only inside for loops. Okay. The range now what is the range function? The range function in Python basically generates a sequence of numbers. By default, the sequence always starts at 0, increments by 1, and stops before the specified number. Now for that, let's run a program. For example, for I in range 6, okay, print I. So the default counter here, as mentioned, always starts at 0. It goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now why does it print till 5? Because the range is 6 and we need to print 6 numbers starting from 0, hence it goes up to 5. Now range function can be called using with multiple arguments using comma. If a range function is being called with using two arguments separated by a comma, then the first argument is the beginning, signifies the beginning of the sequence, and the second argument is the end of the sequence. So it starts from 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Please note that it won't include um, the second argument. It's up till this that it needs to print. Okay, so it will print up till 15 minus 1, which is 14. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are also range functions that have three arguments. One that signifies the beginning of the sequence, one that signifies where the range starts. Okay, first one is where the range starts, second one is the up to which the range is there, and third argument is the interval. So for example, here for I in range 0 25, this is the big 0 is the beginning, 20 is up to which the range would go, and 5 is the interval. So it goes from 0, then plus 5, 10, plus 5, 5, plus 5, 10, plus 5, 50. Okay, so this is all about while loops, for loops, continue and break statements, range functions. In the next, we have a very exciting Mad Libs game that we will teach you. Thank you.